Now, we were talking about your mother, and you told me how she passed away. And was that at the hospital, or was it here at this place?
No, she was shopping in Reading at the factory outlets. Oh. She was coming out the next week to visit with me in Colorado. Guy was there for his internship and residency. We're going to have her stay with my 3 boys. I didn't realize she was as bad as she was, but she went to the factory outlets and she was in Vanity Fair. She was picking up some underwear and clothing to bring out for me, and she told her mother, that's my cousin that's with me, Dot, her mother was with my mother, and she said to her sister, she said, I'm going to go in and try on this outfit, and she walked away, and my aunt didn't really look at her, and she didn't come out, and they went back in, and she was dead in the dressing room.
How sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that loss.
And it was terrible.
And so
they called me Colorado to let us know, and that was like losing my best friend. She wasn't just a mother, she was my sister, my closest friend.
Mom passed away. She was 59. Dad was living here then alone for a while.
Yeah,
Tell us about those years.
Well, he stayed out here, and he was here until he died at 90 years of age.
Was his all of a sudden like Mom's, his death?
No, he had cancer, pancreatic cancer, and he wasn't feeling well for about 6 months, and we came home to have his 90th birthday party, my sons and I, and he just didn't look well, so I flew back to Arizona with my kids, and then packed up the car and brought my Rottweiler dogs with me, and we came here, and I took him to the doctors, and they wanted to put him in the hospital, which I guess they had put him in once before, and he wouldn't stay. They wanted a surgeon to see him, and he said, I'm not having them operate on me at this age. He was a stubborn man. He had his own ways, but my father was so intelligent, it's a shame, because he believed in solar energy and all the wind, the water wheel that he had down here. And they didn't, people thought he was crazy, but he wasn't crazy. They're finally doing some of these things nowadays. But he was sick, and he told the doctors and the attorney that that's why he had me. I was going to stay here and take care of him. He wasn't going into hospice. And so here in the living room, we had a hospital bed so that he could look up at the waterfalls. And he passed away about, I'd say a week after we were told that he was really bad.
So he was in his hospital bed here in this living room in front of the fireplace?
Yes, and been able to look up.
And looking up at the falls when he passed away.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, so many people have asked, how did Armar die? Where did he die? And you have just answered a question for an awful lot of people.
Oh yeah, he wasn't going to stay in any hospice or anything like that. This was his home. He cherished it, but then so did I, and so did my mother. We loved it over here. There was nothing like this place to us. And my mother kept it so beautiful. So my father, when my mother passed away, started putting more things on the walls, but my mother kept it my mother was such a beautiful lady too. And my father was he was a little eccentric at times, but he was a very gifted man. Anybody that could build a home like this and do the woodwork the way he did it, I mean, you have to admire somebody that can do that.
Well, a lot of us do, and that's why we're working so hard to preserve it.
We're pleased that you are. We're so thankful.
Well, we're thankful that you took the time to come and visit us today. As you drove in, you saw all kinds of cement trucks and things in the driveway. What do you think about all this commotion going on around here?
I am so pleased that they are taking care of this place, because from what I always understood, the state was going to tear this home down, and I thought, how awful. Why would you tear down something so historic and so beautiful as this place was? Where do you find a place, even in the state of Pennsylvania or anywhere, with a waterfall and a cabin that was built like this was?
Well, now, I know one of the comparisons we often make is that this is our falling water. I saw the picture that you sent me of the cabin before the floors were in it and before the roof was on. And it was like the logs actually went out to the water. And so the porch is actually cantilevered, and it had the posts underneath apparently for extra support. And were you here while all that was going on?
No, that was before I was born. That was probably in the early 30s, and I was born in 1940.
Okay.
So, and my parents moved in here in 1939.